He's going to doing his PhD now, so it's amazing. Jonathan, last week we had, just to give you a brief what we've been doing. Last week we had British champion boxer, and he's a young man, and he's Bangladeshi. I was quite proud to have that. Wow. And a week before we had Captain Nick Coke, and that was amazing. And before that we had Councillor Mahbub Alam. You met him before. It's great to have you today. Welcome to Middle Path. I'll ask Jonathan to introduce himself. I'll just give you a clip of what he was. He was a teacher in Arab American University in Jenin, also in Lebanon. So he knows that area so well, and he's doing his PhD now. Jonathan, if you could introduce yourself and say the things you've done in Jenin and Lebanon.
Okay, please. Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thanks very much for inviting me, Ishaq, on the show. My name is Jonathan Smith, and I'm originally from the U.S. You may be able to tell by my accent. From Atlanta in the southeast in the U.S., so the home of Martin Luther King, where he was from originally, the civil rights hero, and also a very famous place for hip-hop music. So Outkast, Usher, a lot of music in hip-hop comes from Atlanta, and also a lot of very greasy food as well. So it's I've been living in the UK for 6 years now. My wife is British, so she helped to bring me to this country. But before I was there, as Ishaq was saying, I taught for 4 years in the Middle East, and I was teaching English at 2 universities, one a Palestinian university and one a Lebanese university. And through that, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of Palestinian and Lebanese students, and also feel more a part of the society there.
Fantastic. What's it like living there? I mean, how does the people live there, and how is the relationship between Israelis and Palestinians? Could you?
Yeah. No, thanks. That's a good question.
I'm sure you have a lot of students from the both sides.
Yes. Well, the university I was teaching at was, this is in the years I was there, it was the years of 2002 to 2004. So it was about 10 years ago now, and that was during the Second Intifada. And at that time, the area that I was living in, there were no the only Israelis who were able to be in the area that I was were soldiers. So only students and the people that I interacted with were Palestinians because of the situation at the time. But the place, it was such an amazing place. It really changed my life living there. And one of the things, I mean, it's going to sound silly to you, but you know, I read a lot about what we call the Holy Land, and growing up in the Bible. And when I went there, when I first saw. The first place I went to was an internet cafe, and I was surprised that they had internet because
Bethlehem, isn't it? It's a place called Bethlehem, where Jesus was born.
That's right, Bethlehem, yeah, which is in the Holy Land, and of course Jerusalem, Al-Quds, is also in the Holy Land. So I had no idea what the place was like. So I was just surprised, that it was. In fact, they had faster internet in some places than where I was from. So I was really, and my students had nicer phones than I had. So I was very, very surprised about this. But the thing that really amazed me about living there was the welcome that I had from the people, from Palestinian people.